Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls. We are starting today off in the Firelink Shrine. I wanted to talk to the NPCs to see if there was anything new.
Why, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to make it. Oh, somebody rang the bell. Wait, was it you? You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more. But it's going to be suicide. What's wrong? Get a bit of a scare out there? No problem. Have a seat and get comfortable. We'll both be hollow before you know it. Well, what are you going to do? I've already decided. I don't really care. I'm simply crestfallen. What now? I'm not up for...
Seems like that's all the new dialogue that he has available. I did want to check up with our cleric friend up here to see if he has anything new to say.
Oh, miracles? I'm afraid that may be difficult, for our missions are sacred. I'm afraid that...
So it doesn't look like he has anything new to say, unfortunately. Well, I think I'm going to head back up to the church, guys. I'll meet you up there in just a sec. Alright, we are back in the Undead Parish. So, there's a handful of enemies here that killed us the last time we were inside the church. And I would like to try to pull them... I was trying to pull them one at a time, but they don't seem to want to cooperate with me. Okay, this is not going as well as I had hoped. Try to back off and heal just a little bit. Yeah, this is this normally goes a lot smoother when I've fought them in the past. There we go. That was a little sketchy there for a second. Good Titanite shards. I'm planning on farming these guys a little bit later for some Titanite shards so I can try out a couple of different weapons. I did hit the parry button, game. You just didn't recognize that I hit the parry button. There we go. But the reason why we needed to push forward this way is because we're missing a key item in order for us to continue forward. And that item in particular is right here. As soon as we take out this guy, we can grab it. So we've received the basement key. This will allow us to go to the Undead Burg. There are alternate paths throughout the entire game. You can kind of do anything out of order and in whatever order you prefer, and honestly, whatever kind of floats your boat. Exploring is the name of the game. But this is what we're going to need to take the, I guess, the canonical path through the game and go head towards the lower Undead Burg, which is the next place I'm planning on going. Actually, before I go that, I will meet you guys back at the blacksmith really quick. Alright, so we are back at Andre. So I actually wanted to pick up an item called the Crest of Artorias, and you'll notice once I buy it, it gets consumed.
Neither of us.
This is actually a key that we're going to need to get into an area. Now, this area is technically optional, and I wonder if I can even kill this particular enemy. Let me try. I'm doing damage. Oh, I didn't think his tail would hit me. That attack where he leaps in the air, if he hits you with that, it almost instantly kills you. It kind of pins you to the ground. I don't know if it will kill you 100% of the time, but I know it does do a ton of damage, so... I'm always trying to save a little bit of my stamina to avoid that from happening. Here we go. Okay, not too bad. Of course, he drops Demon Titanite, which is, again, a material that's used to upgrade very unique items. So we are headed into this kind of overgrown forest. That enemy also does not respawn. I probably should say that. You can only kill that enemy once. We're going to head into this forested area. This is where we're going to be using the Crest of Artorias. There is a particular item in Darkroot Garden that I'm interested in grabbing while I'm here. Probably an item I will use for the entirety of the rest of the game. Kudos to you if you can figure out exactly what I'm here for. But there is a myriad of different paths and just interesting things in the Darkroot Garden, just in general. Trying to get... Said of all the enemies in the game, these are the least satisfying to hit. I think there's just no like kind of crunch when you hit the tree enemies. I think there's an item behind this rock. Yeah. Be very, very careful. There are a lot of drop downs that are instant death. So. But yeah, as you can see here, there's kind of this mysterious glow, and this is where we're going to need the Crest of Artorias in order to push forward. But before I do that, because there's always before I do that, there is a hidden bonfire behind an illusionary wall. There are illusionary walls scattered throughout pretty much the entire game that have bonfires, hidden items, secret rooms, optional areas hidden behind them. So it might be in your best interest to check walls that might look suspicious. But because we have the Crest of Artorias, we can open this up. And I can make a mad dash to try to not die in this area. I could try to fight all of the different enemies that are here. But I'm going to be honest with you, they're real strong, and I'm not nearly as strong as they are. They're all humanoid enemies. They all have interesting AI. And I want to get... Let's talk to this NPC.
Is it thou that come my electro have...
Yes.
Well, I come... What does that... Oh.
Yes.
And...
Okay, so we have to abandon our covenant to join this one. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to get a very particular item from this area. And it is not the Cat Covenant ring. Which is a very good ring, let me tell you. See, I apologize that I'm skipping through the dialogue there. They're essentially saying that we need to protect the forest. And this is kind of a lot of the NPCs in this area. So this enemy here, this kind of half-invisible enemy, is the enemy that actually has the item that I want to get. And I need to try to knock them off of the ledge, reload my game, loot the item, all without dying. So, Alright, so I got the ring. That's all I care about.
Don't you ever come round again.
And of course, Shiva is very, very mad at us because we have killed her bodyguard, or his bodyguard. But doing this allows us to kind of sequence break the game just slightly and acquire this dark wood grain ring much before we'd normally be able to. And what it does is it actually makes our rolling animation much faster and much smoother. We kind of do this sweet front flip. I kind of really love it. So that's why I wanted to buy the Crest of Artorias. And I think I'm going to pretty much be using this ring for the rest of the entire game. As well, I also want to poke around this area just a little bit to see what other kind of goodies there might be. I didn't mean to kick, I actually wanted to... You can't hit them until you... Go ahead and loot the enemies here. So the clump items will reduce buildup of different status effects on you, and I'm sure I'll be hit by a couple of status effects, and I'll explain them as we go throughout the entire game. Another fog wall here. And as you can see, the fog wall kind of dissipates behind us, which means this is just kind of a transitional fog wall. Sort of a interesting area we have here. Yeah, don't want to fight these guys more than a couple at a time. Oh, I can't... I was trying to roll And the spell that he used makes it so you can't roll. I feel foolish. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully with better results this time. I can't hit him while he's getting up. I was trying to roll through that. A little annoying. Enemies that are much larger than you, you cannot parry, nor can you critically hit. Okay, I just want to kill him before he does anything. Here we go. They don't have a lot of HP. They have a lot of defense, which is denoted by their armor, actually, which you can get. They do have a very small chance of dropping their armor. They might just drop their weapons and not their armor. But I actually came here for that Elite Knight set, which is... I'm planning on wearing at least a couple of pieces of that. Much further into the game, we have a lot more carrying capacity. But I wanted to see if I can actually take out another boss that happens to be up here in Darkroot Garden. Again, this is a completely optional boss. You never have to come here, and you never have to fight it, which is great. It is a little difficult in my mind. Most people are going to say that this enemy is not difficult at all, and I am a bitch for saying that this is a hard enemy. But I think that the Moonlight Butterfly is quite a difficult enemy. It does not have a lot of HP, but the fight itself is very annoying. I can actually, like, hide behind. I missed. I'm still getting used to using the wood grain ring, and as time goes on, it will be easier and easier for me to avoid enemy attacks while using it. They're wasting all of my fire bombs to kill this freaking butterfly. There we go. Not a bad boss fight overall. We of course get the soul of the Moonlight Butterfly, which as we progress through the game and collect more and more boss souls, the bosses will actually drop their souls as an item. I think the gargoyles dropped their soul, but I am not. Actually, no, I don't believe that they did. But as we complete optional bosses, they will drop their souls. You can either consume the soul, and it will give you a very big chunk of souls for you to spend on items or upgrades or whatever you want to spend your souls on. Additionally, you can take that soul and give it to a blacksmith later in the game that will turn it into a unique item. Of course, I came up here because I got the Watchtower Basement Key and the Divine Ember, as well as a Homeward Bone. So we got a handful of very useful items here. And while there are other places to explore in Darkroot Basin, I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode here. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I know this one's a little bit shorter than the last couple have been, but I like to do one boss per episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.